First thing a lot of us do when we wake up, we just turn over, we get on our phone, we doing this. We trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. We looking at everybody else's story. We looking at everybody else's post. We looking at everybody else's highlights of what they got going on in their life. And we start to compare ourselves. But as soon as you start comparing yourself, that's when peace is stolen from you. That's when joy is stolen from you. Even your own gift can be stolen from you. We living in everybody else's gift. We living in everybody else's highlights. We living in everybody else's story. But you have your own story. You got your own gift and you have your own highlights in life. So this is why, though, comparing your life is really hurting you instead of actually building you up. We can count it as just doom scrolling. We looking at people's timelines. We feeling behind all of a sudden. We measuring success externally. But success is never measured externally. It's internally. It's about how you feel. You never have to question somebody that knows who they are, because they are always confident and still act the same way no matter who's around or the situation. They are still going to be who they are. It's the person that is mixed up with other people's personalities, with other people's goals, with other people's trials and tribulations, and they count that as themselves. They count that as confidence. But let me tell you, confidence that's built on somebody else's confidence is not confidence at all. That is a false reality. And whenever you get frustrated enough, you will start to see that wasn't even you. That's not even me. I'm feeling behind, but I have no reason to feel behind. I have no peace. I have anxiety because I am just comparing myself and looking at what everybody else got and thinking that, well, I should have that. But God is like, what does that even got to do with you? Comparison turns gratitude into anxiety, because now you're not just trying to be grateful, but now you're like, I'm grateful, but I'm grateful for this, God. But see, when you add in that but in there, you're telling God, you know what? Thanks for this, but I don't need it. But actually, I need this more. But actually, so you have to be very careful whenever you are comparing and turning peace into anxiety, right? You have to be grateful for the things that you have and nothing else. Just be grateful. Don't look at what everybody else got. Don't look over here. Don't look over there. Look about what's in front of you and what's above and focus on that. And get grateful. Practice gratitude and see how far that really gets you, right? In the book of John, chapter 21, verses 21 through 22, right? We see Jesus talking to Peter. And you know, this is very simple in life, but not everything that is simple is easy. So let me just go back into this, right? Let's go to verse 19 through 22, right? And that says, this he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said to him, follow me. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who also had leaned on his breast at the supper, and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come back. Right? So he comes back, resurrects himself. What is it to you? You follow me. So what is Jesus telling Peter, right? What can we take from that verse is that he is telling Peter, don't worry about what this man is doing. Don't worry about what I have planned for this man. You follow me. You do what you have to do. You participate in what I need you to do and your purpose and your mission, and you move forward with me. Don't worry about what he got. Don't worry about what she got. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what does your 50K got to do with their $1 million. Oh, well, if I had $1 million than this, or if I had their gift than this, if I had their height or size than this. Look, listen, you don't got it. You don't have it. So stop saying, well, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is follow your path. Follow your focus. Follow your purpose. Follow Christ. Don't worry about what everybody else got. You start to follow the world, you're going to get what the world got to give you, which is nothing. But if you choose to follow Christ and what he has for you, then you will get everything that Christ has for you. And then people are going to be looking at you like, how did you get this? I want what you have. That's not the situation or scenario that we want to be in. But that's where people will have you, because then people are going to see that you trust him. And then whenever people are asking you, how did you do this? How did you get that? Then all you got to say is, I trusted God. I trusted Christ. I followed my purpose. I followed my mission. I didn't worry about what he or she is doing or what he or she is saying and doing all these things. I am continuing to do what I have to do, and I'm picking up my cross and following Christ on my path, not on anybody else's, right? God doesn't explain your path by pointing at someone else's. God isn't telling you, well, look what Peter did. Look what David did. Look what Joseph did. Look what Jacob did. Look what Abraham did, and do what they do. No. What Christ did, what God did, was give us commandments, was give us rules, was give us obligations to what we have to do in life to fulfill his purpose, to fulfill the mission, to fulfill this life with everything that he wants you to have. God didn't say, do what David did, because you know what? We're not David. We won't be anointed like kings. We won't be anointed to be queen. We won't be anointed to do those type of things, because times have changed and things are different. So you can't count yourself as a character in the Bible, let alone count yourself as a character in somebody else's life, assuming that you're going to get what somebody else got. Because nobody's life is the same, and there's no way that you can look at somebody else and expect for that to happen for you as well. So comparison just hurts us in the long run, because it steals our focus, distorts time, right? You want everything to be faster, but really, if you focus on your timing, you're not worried about that. It breeds discouragement. That's huge. It brings you down to self-doubt, self-pity, because of what you're looking at, because of what you're consuming. But if you take the time to not weaken your conviction, but to strengthen it, you will realize that motivation isn't coming from comparison, right? It's actually draining you. Motivation comes from self-drive, right? Self-motivation, self-discipline. That's where motivation is coming from. But comparison doesn't motivate. It just simply drains us. But your pace isn't wrong. It's just yours. You are setting the pace when you should be on God's pace. Don't set your own pace, because then when you get discouraged, whenever you get let down, you are assuming that God is letting you down whenever you're letting yourself down, because you are allowing yourself to consume something that is not beneficial, that is not constructive, but destructive, that is tearing you down, that is not bringing you up. So we have to be very careful when you want to compare, because comparison is hurting you, not helping you, right? Progress looks different when God is shaping depth instead of speed. You have to realize that God is not focused on the speed and where you get somewhere, but the development and how you get there. You cannot focus on, I want to be there tomorrow. You got to focus on, where can I be tomorrow so that God can bless me, so that God can bring me to where I need to be even sooner, right? Or not even sooner. To us is sooner, but to where God needs me to be at the right time, at the right place, and receive the things that he has for you. So stop looking sideways. Stop looking left and right. Stop looking down. Stop looking all these other different ways. Look at God. Focus on God. Focus on yourself, right? Not in a selfish way, but focus on the things that you need to focus on, what you can control, and not what everybody else has going on. The path that God gave you requires your full attention. You have no time to waste on somebody else. You have no time to waste on what other people are doing. You have no time to waste to compare yourself. What you need to do is get your full attention on what God has for you, on your gift, and hone it to your best ability and use it the way God wants you to. And then from there, you build yourself up, you do what you got to do, and then you see what God has for you. Be loved, be blessed, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me on this one, and I hope y'all catch me on the next one.